Welcome back everyone. Quickly, let's continue our discussion on HTML. And right now we will be discussing about the use of HTML class attribute in JavaScript. The class name can also be used by JavaScript to perform certain tasks for specific elements. JavaScript can access elements with a specific class name with the getElementByClassName method. For example, this example right here shows how you can click on a button to hide all elements with the class name specifying the document.getElementById class name method. Here is the class name, as you can see. So quickly we are going to define something like this right here from scratch. So, and again, don't worry if you don't understand the code in the example above yet, because we will learn more about JavaScript in our HTML JavaScript chapter, or you can study our JavaScript tutorial in later future. We're still going to start dropping a bunch of reasonable JavaScript tutorials so that can guide you from beginners to advanced again, and I'm very sure you are going to love it. So get back to our code. This is the code we are having right here in our previous tutorial where we discussed about a single class in multiple HTML elements, and also here is the code, and see what we are having right here right now. So right now what we are going to do right here now, we are going to manipulate all this using JavaScript. So now let's get back to our JavaScript and let's do something to it. Let's create our JavaScript function quickly. This you are going to use script to call JavaScript. Then inside this script you are going to use function syntax. After the function, you are going to create a class name. That you are going to create a function name, which is, let's call it edit. You can call it anything you want, and also make sure that it's having opening and closing bracket. After that, it's having opening and closing curly braces. That's what you need to create a function in JavaScript. So quickly, what we need to do is that we want to select class name from our HTML elements. So we want to tell JavaScript that, please JavaScript, search through all our HTML right here, search through all from top to down, search through our HTML elements. This is what we are going to write there to search through our HTML element. Document. So when we say document, definitely we have told JavaScript that you should enter our document, search through all these elements here. So what we want to search, we want to say search through our HTML element and get what? Get element by what? By class name. Get an element for us by class name. So the class name, get any element from HTML elements from top to down, check it and find this class name. We have to specify the class name we need. Definitely we need to have our opening and closing bracket again. Inside this opening and closing bracket is where we are going to put the specific class name we want to place it, we want to search. Now you have to put it inside your double quote. Now come back to your HTML and copy the word. Copy the borders name. This is the class name we want to use. We want to use class name borders. So this is the class we want to search inside the HTML, and along with the name. This is the class and this is the name, which means class name in linguistics. So you should understand. So we have copied, let's say for instance now we have copied this borders here and place it inside this our document.getElement by class name that searches through our HTML elements. So this is all we need to search. So now to make this thing look clean, just indent it like this, and this one do it like this, so that everything can meet. So again, what do we need again? We need to this thing. Now we have told our function that this is what we want you to do. Okay, and we have did that. Now again, what we need again is that this element don't have anything like function or anything, any equation that can use. So what are we going to do? Definitely we need a function again, another function inside the function. This is our home. We create a function we told the function that please search through HTML elements and find something by class name for us. So now we need this function also now want to create its own function, which is for loop. So the for is for looping through all the elements that is having the class name, that is having this specific class name. So now how to create a function again? Don't forget you create a function by using this opening and closing bracket along with curly braces. So now in this one function now, this one is this opening and closing bracket is as default. They said if we want to use this function right here from JavaScript, they said we can only use it by specifying values like variable. When we create a variable, we can say I or anything. We can name the variable anything and we say is equal to 0. They have give us a guideline in a way we can search through our HTML element using for loop, using this for function. So that's why we are using it right now. So we are saying okay, this is part of the way they said we can use it. That's why we created. They said we can create a variable. When we create the variable, we assign a value to it. After we assign 0 to I, now the benefit of using this I is that you can change the variable inside there. You can change the value you assign to the variable anytime, anywhere. So like for instance now this AI now we have assigned 0 to it. Now we can assign another thing to it again. We can say I is equal to 5 again and close it again. As you can see, there is no error here again, and it's still going to work. So that's what we want to do again now. So but to do that, we need to do what? We need to call our method again. We need to bring our method inside this place so that this thing can be able to do the job for us. But to do that, this function, this method is too long, as you can see. So now what we are going to do is that we are going to make sure that we are going to turn this to a variable so that it can be short. We are going to send it into a box. So let's create a box which is a variable. Let's say file again, then the variable again. We now call it HH. When we create HH box like that, we want to say is equal to all this method we are having here, so that we can be able to use the HH inside our for loop. Place this method here inside our here and close it like this. So definitely all this method we are seeing here, we have sent it inside this place, is now inside this our HH. So our HH now is now representing the document dot get elements by class name method. So now we want to we will now come inside here again. Now we now use our HH dot length to find the length of to find to end this. Definitely this dot length means that please for loop, we are telling the for loop that please for loop, we don't know how many elements in our HTML document, in the HTML document, that is having this border, these borders, because this one is saying document get element by class name for all that is having borders. So this is the benefit of using this variable here. That's why we now assign this to a variable. Now we are not saying document, we are not telling for loop now that for loop, please find enter our HTML document and find element and get element for us by class name borders, but please we don't know the length of the element that have class name borders. So please use your scope, any scope that you have in your territory, to help us find it. We have rendered ourselves to you, so please help us look for it. That's why we now okay, the for loop now assign its own dot length to us. So now give us a label. This is the label for looking for this thing for us. So the label is now like dot length. Okay, we are looking for the length. So now the for loop now want to work again. The for loop now carry is I. that it have already assigned 0 to it. So now the volume now carry the I again. Now say I is lesser than h dot length. That is, it is saying that now it now close it again. Now say okay, oh, everything we are now saying the follow is now saying I, oh yeah, now take all this thing, all this talky this guy dey talk now, oh, carry it, put it inside your body, inside your box. So as you have kept it inside your box, now help him find it quickly, because it's your job. Oh yeah, look for it for him and get the result for him. So for I now think say, omo, I've already have something, oh, how can I look for this? Because this is length. Okay, definitely they are looking for the length of the thing, abi, right? Okay, now let me quickly create another I plus plus. So this I plus plus again right here, now the I now turn to I plus plus. As the I now turn to I plus plus, making it that okay, the getting the work, like getting start to work. The I now start to work. Now say thank you. Okay, I've heard you. I'll be looping through the HTML element now, one by one. That's why we are having one on plus plus. So we are saying from E0. Now the I now say from, we have give the I value that from E0, look for any HTML element that is having borders. We don't know the length, so please help us find it. So the I now start working. So as the I now start working, definitely the I need to get back to us, right? So that's why we need to open this our curly braces. Inside our curly braces, we need to call our HH again. HH will now call the function now again. HH will now call the function. HH will now say list. I'm looking for a list. So the list is waiting for is the list that this I bring back. So you now write I. When I done, please, when you done, oh, please, thank you for the job, but I need you to do something for me. Assign style to any element that is having borders. Any HTML element you find there that is having this border class name. So help me assign style to it, and the style should be display. After that, when the style is displayed, the file I want to assign to it is equal to none, and that's what I want you to do for me. Please close it. I close the chapter. So that's how the for loop now get the query and also respond to the query. So now for the for loop to respond to the query, you have to take your function here. You will now have to use it inside your HTML so that it can work as you planned. So now let's use the function. So back, you can say immediately after your script here, you can just create a button, but firstly save your document, see how it looks first. As you can see, we're having our document, nothing happened yet. So back to our document again. Let's now create a button. When we create that button, you can write a name there. Let's say let's right click me, give it a name, click me, or hide me, hide element. You understand? Just write something there. So hide element. So inside here, button is now, the HTML button is having one attribute that is called unclicked. So this is what we are going to use right here to call the function that you have created in JavaScript. So now we will now copy the function here, the function from the hide up to the closing bracket. We will now copy opening and closing bracket with it. Now you now place the function inside the click here and save the document. So once you have saved this, definitely the job should be done in that way. So when we get back to your document now, let's reload our document. Can you see we are seeing hide element, right? Or you can just just change the name. You can just say click click to hide element element. So just write anything there so you can just see what you are trying to do. So click to hide element. So when we click this now, you are going to see this Nigeria that is having border and giant and Africa, all of them will disappear. You will not see them again. Let's click it. Can you see they are no more found, nowhere to be found again. When we reload again, they are going to come back, but whenever you click it, they will disappear. So that's the benefit of what we have been teaching so far, what we have been learning so far. And come back to your document. I want to show you something again right here. I don't want to forget. Let's try this. Put is equal to here and save your document and reload. Click it again. Can you see? That's why I'm telling you that this thing, as you can see, is as if you change the variable right here. This variable, as you have assigned a 0 to this I variable here. Again, you now come back again. You now assign this our method here. All this our method here that we gave to this variable here. You now put it inside here. We now still assign another. We now carry another function, another default function from this for loop. Now connect them together. We now carry all these method and functions together. We now assign it again to this variable. That's how it works. So no matter if you put the equals to, if you put less than or equals to, or you put less than, it will definitely do the job for you, as you can see. But sometimes in mathematics, less than or equals to and ordinary less than, they used to mean different things, though it just depends on how it works. It just depends on how the calculation works. So now again, let me show you something. Let's now say, for instance, now we remove the borders from this h2 element here. You are going to see what will happen. Let's remove the borders and save our document and come back to it. Reload. Can you see no border around this Nigeria again now? So, but now when we click this, definitely this giant and the Africa is the only thing that is going to hide. Let's click it. You can see as they hide. Reload. Click it again. Reload. And again, I have something again I want to show you guys again. The one thing again I want to show you is that, let's say for instance, you want to know how this function works very well. I'm purposely explaining this for you guys here so that you can understand this deeply, so that because you will be needing this for loop in the future very well, so that you will not get confused anywhere you find it. So let me show you how this still works again in a full details. Let's separate all this. Let's separate this again. Separate this again and separate this one again. Separate this one again. This is what I'm saying right here. As you can see, we firstly define our variable. We create the variable high. We now assign 0 to it, right? The same thing happens here. Our method is here, right? Which is h. Then we assign a function to it, which is from the function is from for loop here. Now assign it also. Now send it to this I. That's why I said we can use is equal to also. So when we save it, it's still going to work. Let's save it like this, it's still going to work like this. But now after this I is now having all this on this method and this function. Now we now increase it by 1. So this one will firstly loop. It will loop by 1. It will come here, it will find the one that is having, it will hide it, it will loop to find it. That's how it will be looping. But let's say for instance now, let me save the document firstly and reload it so you can see it is working. Can you see it's still working? Let me now calculate this for you in mathematical way so you can understand the point. So let's say for instance now we change this to 3. Save the document. You are going to see that nothing will happen. As you let's say change it to 2. Yes, because we only have 2 border here, as you can see, giant and Africa, right? Let's reload our document. When we click this thing, it will not hide them. Can you see? It's not hiding them. But when you specify 1, it will hide only this Africa, and I will tell you why. Let's just use 1 and reload our document. Click it. Can you see it hide 1? The reason why it hide the Africa only is because the engine always start from 0, and when it start from 0 like that, definitely it will begin another thing from 0 again. Let's say from here now we gave it 1. Definitely it said you should skip 1 out of the thing you want to, out of the element you want to search. You should skip 1 out of it, which is we are telling it that when you look through all the HTML elements, if you find anything that is having borders, firstly the first one you firstly met, skip it and start from the second one. That's what we did here that makes it hide only the giant. That's why when it skip this one now, this one will not hide. It will now come to this one. When we click it, it will hide only the Africa. The same thing goes, let's say we specify for instance and we have 3 borders. Let's copy these borders again now. Assign it to H2. When we save it and reload our document, you are going to see, you can see 1, 2, 3 array. So all these 3 they are having, right? So and also we have said skip 2, right? When we skip 2, 1, 2. Let's check our document. Let's check our own document to see what we are having here. Let's say we skip 1, right? It's going to hide only giant and Africa. It will not hide this Nigeria. Let's click it. Can you see? It hide giant and Africa, but it doesn't hide our Nigeria. That is the scope behind it, because this one is looping infinity, it's looping anything it found. So that's why. But let's say for instance now we gave it 3. It's not going to hide anything because only the element that we are having is 3. 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2. So if we click it now, it will not hide anything. Can you see? It's not hiding anything. That's the benefit of using what? Definitely we are telling it to skip 3, and when it skip 3, it's not finding anything again. Let's now say for instance now we are having P. We are having thanks for everything. Let's say thanks for everything. Let's write class. We now give it borders and save our document. Because we specify 3 and all these things now, it will jump 1, it will jump Nigeria, it will jump giant, it will jump Africa. It will only hide this thanks for everything. Let's click it. Can you see? Only thanks for everything hides. So that's how. And now let's say for instance you now gave this 4 now again. It will hide all what? It will hide all the, it will not hide anything again because it's 4 borders we are having. So after the 4 we are not seeing anything again because the thing will now want to start from 0 again to counting again after it has already hide 4 elements. So after it has already counted jump 4 elements, so we said it should jump 4. That's why we kept 4 here. So after it jump 4, it's not seeing anything that is having border again. As you can see inside our document, we are not seeing anything that is having border again beyond 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the scope behind it. When we reload our document and click this, as you can see, nothing happens. That's there because we are having for. And that's the reason why we are using is 0, because we are saying we don't want to care from anything that is having what, anything that is having, we are telling it that anything that is having borders, don't skip anything, don't skip none of it, all of it, hide them, or hide those elements at once. Now it's going to hide h2 span element, borders here. So this one is, so sorry, mistake. So borders here. So let's reload our document. As you can see, the p now is now okay. Let's click it. You are going to see that it's going to hide Nigeria, Giant, Africa. Thanks for everything. Can you see? That's what I'm trying to show you guys. The reason why it's not hiding is the of, is because this is the hub, it's inside this p tag and it's not having the border. So, and this span inside the p tag is the only one that is having the border. As you can see, this is the closing tag of the p tag, and this is the closing tag of the second for the main p tag. This is the another p tag inside another p tag. So let's say for instance we now put border inside it again. Let's say put border here again, borders also here again. It will also hide, everything will now hide. All these elements you are seeing here will disappear. Can you see? They all disappear. And also we can also use it again inside this class here. Also you can just say borders and save your document. When you save your document, when you click this, can you see it hide everything? You're not seeing anything there again. All the elements hide, all the element disappears. So that's what I want you to understand here. Anwar Akorede Ayofe is my name. I wish to see you guys next time, but make sure you practice, because practice makes perfect. And let me show you our chapter summary so far. We have discussed about the HTML class attribute specifies one or more class names for an element. Classes are used by CSS and JavaScript to select and access specific element. The class attributes can be used on any HTML element. The class name is case sensitive. Different HTML elements can point to the same class name. JavaScript can access elements with a specific class name with the get elements by class name method. That's all. We have done all this. So I think we are good to go. Make sure you practice make perfect, and have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye bye. I hope to see you next time. Thanks.